Good morning. Uh, I have brought some members of the OMBAC board here today. Uh, I was just saying, what the hell does OMBAC stand for? But it's the old Mission Bay Athletic Club. We call it OMBAC for so many decades, you forget what it's about. Uh, when I learned that there was a challenge to the over the line tournament, this is the 60th year. Uh, I said, well, I guess anybody can sue anything, but this is a little bit ridiculous, and we have to do what's necessary on the legal front, certainly, but to make sure that there is no TL this year, and that's what we're here today to do. By the way, I have been out of town for a few days. I understand there were some issues that came up while I was gone. Um, I'm going to. I would like to cover those issues tomorrow. I'll be here for a free open conference from 12 to 1. I'll have a few statements and I'll be open for any questions, but I would like to keep this conference just on over the line. Is that okay with everybody? But tomorrow from 12 to 1, I'll have open to any questions you want, any of the issues that have come up over the last few days. Are we clear on that? So I hope we can do that. So what we're going to do today with the vice president of the Old Mission Bay Athletic Club and myself assign the permit agreement. Now there is a legal challenge. That legal challenge has opened up, I think, some important issues. I mean, that's what legal challenges do. And I am pledged to, with the club and with whoever is suing us, to look at those issues of environmental review, of what is the issues of where alcohol is served, those kinds of issues, that we're going to spend some time after this tournament to go over those in some depth. And OMBAC is certainly agreeable to be at the table to do that. I mean, whether there's beer gardens versus free distribution, whether there's the special events permits versus others. There's some issues there. But this tournament is scheduled to start in a couple weeks. And what I want to do is issue the permit to make sure that that occurs, that the 60th tournament does proceed, and that this tradition that really is San Diego. I mean, I came to San Diego 40 years ago, and I was told OTL. I said, what is OTL? And they said, that's San Diego. And I think that's correct. Over the line is San Diego. Most everybody here, I suspect, has been to Fiesta Island, have enjoyed the atmosphere, and it's a tradition that we need to keep going in San Diego. We have some legal issues. We're going to sign a permit that recognizes that there is a suit, and while that suit is in operation and the city council has not confirmed the EIR, we're signing the permit. Recognizes that there are that there could be conditional conditions put on it yet, and as I said, we're going to have a fair permitting process that everybody in the city is going to be fair, will be treated fairly and equally. But we need to get on with this year's tournament, and we need to have those questions discussed in the future. So I would like to sign the special event permit that gives OMBAC the permit to host the tournament starting on July 12th and ending July 21st, to set up between the July 8th and 12th, and to take down the event on July 22nd. They anticipate, by the way, over 35,000 people coming to the event, 1,200 participants over the 6 days of the actual tournament. So, Mr. Rodriguez?
Gonzalez.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Mr. Gonzalez, we put a sign here somewhere here. If you'll well, you can do it right here. So I just think that, again, over the line is San Diego. Your Lenderman is my chief. Do I have to initial that somewhere?
There's a few initials.
Oh, okay. There's some initials on here too. Okay, let's. Okay, signature, primary contract date, signature mayor. Today is the 22nd.
Mhm.
I think that's it. See if there's any other initials on there. I'm happy to take any questions. The club is here to know that they could hopefully start their setup and preparation as soon as possible. We'll give them that permit, that park permit, what's it called?
Park use permit.
Park use permit as soon as possible today, and so they could get started on this very important tradition. Yes, Mr. Linden, if you ask me about bacteria and microbes, I'm going to... Bacillus, I'm sorry.
Be that as it may, they have a permit, but if somehow the party here gets an expedited hearing, the court gets involved?
Well, we hope that that does not occur. As I understand it, there is an EIR that's been approved, but there's appeal of it. The council has to confirm it. And once the council confirms it, I assume they can get try to get some legal injunction. But look, that would be a breach of, I mean, they start planning, the day after the previous tournament. They've been a year in planning. They have been given the sense from the city that there would be a permit in order. So they have certain vested rights in this too. It's not just somebody says, oh, you can't do it. Yes, we have a legal system. But I believe that we have an obligation, given the 60 years of permits that have been issued here and the expectation that they would have a permit, that would occur.
If I may follow up, because that was the question about the EIR. They were able to get the EIR process that quickly? Their lawyers?
I don't know if anyone wants to talk about that. Do you want to say that, about the EIR process?
It's a categorical exemption.
Can we get to the microphone, please?
We submitted for a categorical exemption under CEQA, and that was the determination that was made by the city.
You're exempt from EIR.
Right.
Correct.
Exempt from the CEQA.
There's two different codes they did it on for us too. It's actually
See,
online.
again, this whole process, they have been exempted by city thing for 60 years. And all of a sudden now the suit says, why isn't there an environmental review? And they said, well, we'll do the official documentation. We're not sure why we have to do it. I'm not sure why they have to do it. But they did it, which we appreciate. There's now a process, as you point out, Ed, that it goes to the, there is an appeal process, and then there's a city council adjudication of that appeal. And the courts always can get involved. But when you're a few days from the tournament, I think, they have I would call, this is San Diego. This is a vested right. OTL, I think, in most San Diegans' mind, have a vested right to do this tournament. And, we'll comply with all the laws. If the court got involved, obviously, we would have to do that. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Mr. Mayor, I understand you're going to address some of this stuff tomorrow as well, but if you'll humor me, I'm just wondering, your junket to Paris, how does that benefit the citizens of San Diego?
We'll talk about tomorrow. I appreciate, of course, the what should I say, the objective way of putting a business trip, which is to get jobs in San Diego as a junket, but I'll remember that. No other questions
Who
on that
pays for
stuff.
that trip?
Please.
On the flip side of this, you're talking about freepd.org. What happens with their permit, and what do you have to say about them saying that, this is special treatment?
Well, as I said, they raised some important issues. They over the line, or OMBAC requested a permit, they were given. Free PB requested a permit, they were denied. That whole issue needs discussion. It needs discussion, and we intend to do that. The time to do that is not 3 days before the event. The time to do that is after the event. They'll have time to breathe. We'll have time to breathe. And I agree. There has to be fairness. There has to be equity. There has to be a sense that everybody is treating fairly. But we'll look at that. They each went through a permit process. There are established rules for those processes. Under the rules, they were given the permit, the other one was not. So they've contested the fairness. They have a right to do that. I think they are right that there are some questions. As I said, do you need a special events permit for this type of event? And then what is the treatment of alcohol? Why are people grandfathered into this permit? I mean, those are real issues. And we're going to discuss them. And they're committed to do it. I'm committed to do it. And I hope Free PB is committed to it. But now is not the moment to do that.
Have you or someone from your staff communicated your position to people with Free PB? Say, let's slow down on this and we'll talk about it after the tournament?
We have tried, yes.
Can someone from OMBAC summarize what the exemption is? There are certain exemptions allowed. What is your exemption?
The exemption was,
You want to give that? Is there someone that's Carolyn? Carolyn's here. Why don't we have Carolyn?
Okay.
That'd be easier.
This is Carolyn Wormser, who's our special events coordinator. Is that the?
Can we get copies of the permit and the restrictions?
Yeah. Carolyn, your full title is special events
Director.
Director. Okay.
Yes.
Just briefly, what the exemption is.
So OMBAC historically has had an event that and manages 3 beer gardens that comply with our standard terms and conditions for the use of alcohol at special events. They also have 3 areas where people who are attending the event historically have been allowed to bring in their own alcohol and drink in all age areas. This practice was legal prior to the passage of the alcohol ban because alcohol was allowed at Mission Bay Park and on Fiesta Island. So this permit continues that tradition.
Is there thought going forward about discontinuing that tradition and going to an on-site vendor sales paradigm?
Well, they do have a vendor sales in their 3 beer gardens, and as Mayor Filner mentioned, we will be working with the mayor's office reviewing our practices.
That might be under consideration.
Right, it was a thorough review of all the issues that are raised by this.
Carolyn, is that like grandfathering this in? When you say that continues the tradition, the ban was.
Actually, these are not grandfathered rights. These are permit conditions that the chief of police looks at on a year-to-year basis.
What's the categorical exemption under CEQA?
The categorical exemption under CEQA, I'm going to have to defer to Mr., is separate. And I have to defer to our environmental specialist on that one. Lee?
yeah, under CEQA, the determination was made under 15323 and 15304 of CEQA. 15323 is the public gatherings, and the 15304 is for minor alterations for things like Christmas tree parks or lots.
But you were able to get that in the wake of the lawsuit? You didn't have it before? You were able to move along and get that? Is that correct?
Yes, that's a determination that was made.
Yeah, in other words, you didn't have that before until the lawsuit, and the attorneys moved quickly and you were able to get this?
Correct.
I just want to get the chronology, thank you.
I mean, let's make sure that, the applicant, correct me if I'm wrong, determined that they were exempt, and our permitting authority said they were. That's what's being appealed.
Mr. Mayor,
That determination of the CEQA exemption is being appealed.
will you answer the question about how much that Paris trip cost and
No.
who paid for it?
On topic, sir, on topic?
Please stay on topic.
No, I have an on-topic question, just so that you didn't know if you were failing.
No, I'm just,
You're not.
we set certain rules up. If you don't want to borrow the rules, you don't have to be here.
At PSNNS yesterday, a couple applicants complained about the police department running out the clock, essentially foot dragging, going into a stall, not making a determination, yes or no, which could be appealed in time for, let's say, a wedding rehearsal picnic. Is there some fear at the police department? Or
No, I ordered, when that issue weeks ago came up, that there was a fear, and I said, Carolyn, deal with this in an orderly fashion. They applied for the permit, do the police determination, don't play any political games here. Don't play any games that are not going to be transparent. This is a group that everybody knows asking for a permit. It's a transparent process. We should issue it in a transparent fashion. And that's what I said to Carolyn and her staff, and that's what has happened.
But is there a concern going forward that the camel's nose is going to get under the tent and booze is going to come back in a big way through a series of
No,
incremental parties of 75, 25, 40?
No, I don't think that's either the issue or the intent. It's for certain. It's for review of issues that have been brought up by this suit. One of which was why did this group not get it and this group did? I mean, what is? I mean, it's not legally a grandfather, but people have said, well, because they have, and the police department knows exactly what's going to happen at Fiesta Island for 60 years. They don't know, they didn't know. And is that the basis? That's what we have to review. Should there be a not bring your own, but beer gardens at all of these things? I mean, I think as I said, I think the suit has raised important issues, and that's what we're going to deal with.
Have you discussed this with the city council in closed session without going into too many details?
I'll give you the transcript, but don't worry. No, I mean, we had there was an application for a permit. Our staff has the authority to issue that permit. There has been a legal determination, and the way it's put in the permit is that should there be an adverse legal determination, each side understands it.
But since
But
the
it's-
lawsuit was filed, it hasn't come up in closed session?
No. No, I think that's a open council decision. I mean, I don't know what the closed session would have to do with anything. I mean, they've determined, and we've determined they're CEQA exempt. That's been appealed. There's an appeal process. The city council rules on that. There's no closed door stuff on all that.
Is there any chance the city council would hear that appeal before the tournament happens?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be heard within the next, by July 9th, I think. It's docketed for July 9th. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.